Hello, Aaron.
We're Here we are again.
Have you got some great news for our viewers?
Yes, I have Rick. So I'm happy to say again, it's something that's important to me. Again, small steps. Was able to accomplish my goal of 1,200. My current rating is 1,207. I did it 2 days ago, and yeah, I'm happy to show that game. Again, there's still holes, there's still things, there's still flaws, but short and steady wins the race. So I think a year ago, so it was 1,000. Now it's 1,200. So really happy with that.
Well, you should be. And you said 2 days ago, so I guess that is was May 6th, 2025.
Yes,
We started working
correct.
together in December 2021 when you had a rating of 500 and you made the most horrific moves. And now you have, well, you doubled your rating when you had 1,000. And since then, you have reigned another 200 points. And as as you get stronger, it will be more. It is more and more difficult to make those jumps. In the beginning, you had so much low hanging fruit
Yeah.
to learn, and now it's more difficult. But you still and what is this the end, Aaron, or are we going for 1,300?
Yeah, well, I said to you, if I can get to by the end of the year, God bless, 1,250, just another sort of get halfway. That's sort of my next goal. Again, I could go all the way back to 1,000. But I just want to say, I think it's important to emphasize that since I've been working with you, obviously, we did start in 2021, but there's been times when I haven't played for 6 months. I've done other ventures, then I've come back for a couple of months, then I go away. So all collectively, I've probably been playing for about 2 years. If you add it all, um, I know we've exchanged messages asking, are we still going to continue with our goal? So I have been away a lot of the time as well. So um, so it's been about 2 years if you add it all up. But yeah, we'll go to 1,250 next and see. As you say, we'll get harder. So I've
Yeah.
learnt a lot about myself with chess. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, we're going to do four videos for this session, three games we look at, and for once we're going to look at a game that you won, because we're always in this series look at games that you lose, because there's more to learn from them. I always commend you for that. But in this, we have a special reason, or you have a special reason that you picked one of your wins, and that will be the third video in this mini series, or on this training session. But first, you sent me this position, and it was a move of the day. Um, and you couldn't really find the answer, and I sent you the answer in chess notation. Were you able to follow it?
A little bit, Rick, yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you, I look at it, it becomes a bit sort of academic for me, and I can't say I lose interest, but I just thought, you know what? I won't worry myself. I'll forward it to a position and I can see it act out. So I did struggle a little bit.
Okay. Well, then let's have a look at it. It's a beautiful move. So it's queen versus bishop and knight, and white also had three pawns. But the queen is obviously a lot stronger. Well, if you add up, three for the knight, three for the bishop, and three pawns, that adds up to nine, and the queen is nine. So you could say that material is even, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. The queen is very strong here. The white king is could be harassed by the queen, but and in fact, black is better. Was it not for one amazing move? And that was this move of the day. Do you remember the move?
Bishop to c3.
Bishop c3. What is that? That is an incredible move. It's the only winning move. Otherwise, black is better, as I said. It's curing queen and king. So you don't want to lose your queen because then, of course, you're going to lose with a knight and three pawns against a lone king. So black has to capture the bishop. You can also not. There's no square for the king to keep the queen protected. So you really have to capture the bishop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So black takes. There's no other choice. If you go king d6, then you lose the queen for nothing. So at least you get a bishop for your trouble. But now it looks like
Yeah.
black just uh, has done even better, and he's going to take on f3. He's going to take on c4, and he's totally winning. But it's not that easy because now white will be able to win the black queen. Not straight away. There's no knight fork yet. Do you remember the move here?
Oh, is it pawn to f4 check?
Pawn f4 check is the first move, because the whole point is we want to lure the
Move.
king to a bad square where we can give a knight fork. So let's look. We're not going to put it on the board. Let's look at we're in check. Black is in check, and you have to make a king move. So look at king d4. What is the refutation of king d4?
We can go knight e2.
And that is winning the queen, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about king d6?
Oh yeah, knight e4.
Knight e4 also forks king and queen. And what about king f6?
Knight e4.
Again, knight e4. And what if black takes the pawn on f4? King takes f4.
Knight e2.
Exactly. So it looks like we can win the queen. And of course, if we win the queen, we win the game as well, because then we have too many pawns for black to handle. So the only, and just by process of elimination, we have to play king e6. That's the only square where we're not forked.
Oh wow. And then we deliver check again, pawn to f5.
And then we play f5 check. And we cannot take the pawn, it's now protected by the knight. And we already looked at king f6 and king d6, where we will get forked. That's still the same. So we have to go back to e5 to avoid being forked.
Okay. And then do we go pawn from f2 to f4?
And then we play f4 check. And that pawn was already on f4. The other pawn was on f4. And then we saw the only move we had was king e6. And the e6 square is now no longer available for the black king because we have a pawn on f5. And we already saw that all the other king moves have a problem, because on d6, on f6, on d4, and on f4, we will get forked. And that means white will win the queen. Yeah, that's the end of this composition, or composition. I don't know where this position came from. If it was a composition or if it came from a real game, but it's pretty nice.
So can you move the king then, so I can see the fork? So
well, you can see the forks in your head. Where do you want to? We just did that, right? We played king d4, knight e2. We played king d6 or king f6, and we saw knight e4. You want me to show it on the board?
Yeah, so now the king's move here is d4. Oh, but it can move to f. If it moves to f, oh yeah, sound okay.
Knight e2, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we go knight e2. So what I've noticed about forks is if the if the knight is on a light square, the things that it's forking, the pieces, are on a dark square. But that's the pattern, isn't it?
Can you? I'm not really sure what you're referring to. Dark square. What do you mean dark square?
So if you go back a move and go back and move again. So the king goes to f6, let's say. So the knight goes to a white square, and then the pieces that it's forking will be on dark squares. So they're always on the opposite squares.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you're right. So yes, the knight jumps always from one color square to another color square, and then attacks the other color square again. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's something that I've noticed. So when I'm looking for things, I'll look at the squares of the colors, like light and dark.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is true. Of course, the knight is a very tricky piece. It jumps around corners, and yeah, knowing that it will go from a light square to a dark square. I think we'll see later in a future video. I think in one of your games you played a king move, which was, and I want to highlight that that was far away from the knight. It was a diagonal from the knight. You had a, let's say the king, the knight was here and the king was there. You play the king there. Let's do that c6 square, and then the knight will need lots of moves to approach to check the king. So that is always, especially in time trouble, um, that is a good thing to keep in mind. If you put your king and knight in this distance, or your king and his knight in this distance, then you will not be harassed by any checks anytime soon. We'll get to that when we get to that game.
Yeah, thank you, but I'm happy with this, Rick.
Yeah, okay, then we'll leave it. It is a beautiful composition and um, beautiful position, at the start. If you can make a move like bishop c3, then you can retire, because then
Okay.
you have played the most beautiful game move of your life. And yeah, it's good as well then to try and read chess notation or try and solve it in your head without moving the pieces. That is definitely, now that you're at the 1200 level, something that
Yeah, that's needed, isn't it?
exactly. So that's your next installment in
Yeah,
your chess
thank you.
career is being able to solve positions without moving pieces and with reading chess notation. Okay, will we go to the games?
Yes, please.